Hey there, welcome to my shop. You're about to see the best example you've ever seen of starting to make something and end up with something totally different. And I don't mean just a little modification, you know. I mean from, going from black to white sort of. So here we go. This is what I started to make right here, except out of wood naturally. This is something my wife's going to take to Goodwill. I explain that a little later. And this is what he ended up with, a spittoon. And there are a couple pretty bad mistakes and fails in this thing. One of them just about hurt me, and the other one was just one of those things. Anyway, they're both in here, and I ended up with this. I think it turned out pretty nice. I don't spit, but if I did, I got something to spit in. Okay, let's watch this. You see this blue picture right here? I walked out the door the other day, and there was a whole box of stuff my wife was getting ready to take to Goodwill, and I spied this, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I guess it's just something she never uses. So I said, well, shoot, I'll make one of these, but out of wood. You get a faceplate on that. I don't know if you have a habit of not being in the camera when I do things. Well, I got it on a faceplate. I put extra long screws in it because I know how cedar is. So what I'm going to do first is just go ahead and get the whole thing to the round, and then I'll cut it off for whatever distance I need here. And then we'll commence to make a shape. And I haven't spun it yet. I got it on there. It looks pretty centered. Got my face mask out and all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to use my beaver to get it down to the rough as usual. But anyway, here's a little bit of good news. I finally got, there it is. I finally got a 3D file for the beaver, which is what all the manufacturers want, because they take that file and feed it into their CNC machines in one end, and it spits these out the other, whatever metal we use. So they printed me one on the 3D printers, just to see if everything fit, and it looks good. A little bit, it looks good. I like it. There's a cutter I'd be using. That's a square cutter, R2 radius. That's what I like to use. And I think we're going to sell these for a reasonable price, and they'll come with two cutters. I don't think we're going to do any handles because, well, just don't have time to do handles for one thing, and forming them out's easier said than done. Besides, my thinking is if you're a wood turner and you can't build your own handles, you're in trouble. So, but if you don't have the wood to do it or something, that's a horse of a different color. But handles are, you can buy them on the internet, just the handles. So anyway, there you go. So let's get this thing going. I hadn't spun it up yet. I have no idea what it's going to do. Got a brand new pair of gloves so I can see where my fingers are. And we're going to go. And let's see what we get out of it. I hope I get a lot out of it before it starts shaking too bad. It may not be too bad. I took it to the bandsaw and sort of squared it up a little bit, got all the knots and stuff off of it. Oh, it's looking good, guys. Running almost 900. 860. $1,000, that's where I like to turn. It's tight. Let's see. Hear the wind blowing. All right, let's do it. What I was doing there is just getting all the high spots down so I get the rest in closer. It had a couple little limb bits sticking out like right there, which made me keep the rest out further than I wanted it. So now I've got it to where I can do some cutting. Looking good. All right, put it back up. Cedar smells good, but it does get to you after a while. The thin shirt may not cut it. That's hit me a couple places hurt. Damn thing's smart. Maybe I ain't as tough as some of you guys. I don't like hurts. Well, we get closer. I don't take long to beaver. We'll flat move the wood, my friends. Flat move the wood. Well, I started doing this and forgot to turn the camera on. Anyway, I just freshly sharpened it. I've got this one cut down a little bit. What I was saying, if you don't think that dry cedar gets hot, look how it turned to hit that blue. Can you see that? Look there. Isn't that something? Probably dog it too. I'm gonna hit it another licking promise over here. Ride the bellow. Okay, let's see where it is. Here it is. A little bit more, not too much. Well, that's going to alter things. There it is. It's rotten in there. I didn't know it. Can't see it from outside. And that's what happened. Well, this thing's been sitting here for 5 days untouched almost. I did take a look at it and went ahead and busted the rest of this stuff off here because I'm not going to use it anyway. And it, had a few cracks, and I went ahead and fixed those. I'm still a little reluctant to do anything. I really, was sort of reviewing my mistakes, and boy, there was lots of them on this one. First off, I guess I wasn't thinking this was cedar. Cedar has marvelous strengths in the vertical, but almost none in the horizontal. Which means that if you take something and make it narrow like this right here, I mean you got nothing to support it there. Plus, I don't guess I examined my wood quite well enough, because right in here, this is where it busted off originally. It is really rotten. So that let it go. In my tradition, I'm not gonna abandon this quite yet. I'm gonna take the parting tool and try to cut this one down, just a little bit at a time, without it tearing apart. And then I can taper it down, and then I can round this and then come down here and make I'm gonna make a longer base to compensate for what I lost up here at the top. It'll probably work out. If it looks like it's gonna mess up, I'll back up. But I got distracted. That's why I hadn't done anything here. I never did like that Honda side-by-side I had. It was new, but I just didn't like it. Too noisy, too clunky, you know, just, I didn't like it. So I had an opportunity to pick up something at a clearance. I sold my Honda. I just didn't like it, so I sold it. Actually, I made a little money on it. But there's a dealer over here that handles Durex. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them or not. You can look them up. They're Duruxx. Duruxx. They're a side-by-side, and they look like this. And I've been, you know, I got this about 4 days ago, and I've been piddling and working on it. You know, I know you're not supposed to work on nothing brand new, but I had been sitting outside, and it was had a lot of bad water spots, and I had to compound and buff it. That's what all this stuff is doing laying here. Plus I've been working on this table. I went ahead and poured the top, and I got to work on the lip now, get it done, get it back to Mama. But it's a 5-speed, 4-cylinder, quiet, smooth. It's what I wanted. The first thing I did, it comes with this rinky-dinky hitch on it. I cut that off and put a regular 2-inch one down there, welded a new one on. Anybody knows me, this is typical of me. I can bring something brand new home and be modifying it within hours, which is what I did here already. Getting ready to install a boat seat on the back so my grandson have a place to ride. Nice and safe with a, you know, seat belt and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to get back I'm going to do a little bit more of this because I'm sort of falling behind. I got so many different things going on. You know, like I said in a previous video, I'm busier than a one-arm paper hanger, which is really true. So I'm going to get back on this. I'm going to get out either a square cutter, probably take a square cutter and start walking it this way just a little bit at a time. Just to be safe. And I'm going to wear a heavy leather apron and gloves because I tell you what, when that flew off, hit me in the chest, it hurt. I kid you not, my friends. This thing was turning into 1,000 R's and it hurt. So anyway, let's hope that don't happen again. If it happens again, this thing goes in the burning hole. And I'll do the same thing, but I'll use a piece of oak of some sort. All right, let me get set up and we'll get going. All right, I'm going to run this about 566 is where it's at. I need to turn my head around backwards. Okay, let's see what it looks like here real quick. See if I see anything happening that don't need to be happening. All right, it's looking pretty good. That's going to fly apart on me right there if I don't do something about it. Can you see that? Right there? Bad news bears there, my friends. All right, when I have a Crackle Spears, this one, I use this real fine sawdust that I get out of my dust collector. I get it off the walls of the sack. You know, after I empty it, the walls are covered with a real fine stuff, and I get it off of that. Now, the way I do these, the reason I had to have a skew is I come in here with this stuff. You can see how fine it is. And I shove it in there the best I can. Then I take one of these as a skew, you know, for cooking. Now you can probably use a toothpick or a small screwdriver, and I take it, I push it in here best I can, like so. Really try to cram it in there, and then I come back and I'll do this a couple of times, and I'm going to put a little super glue down in there. Bouncing going on there. See what it is. Anytime you get bouncing, all of a sudden you better stop and see what it is. There's what it is. My goodness, that's a bad-ass crack. Goodness gracious. And there's a knot. That's where I was getting my bouncing. I don't know about this, guys. I don't know about this. Looks like I get down below these, though. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue. Drop see there in there, because I see something I don't like. In there. Right in there. In case we got some more. Ooh, that's a humdinger there. And that's about where I want to be, so I guess I better go ahead and treat it. I had no idea. Let me get it right here where you can see. Oh, tripod pinched my finger. All right. Looky, looky. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or not. Sort of like going too far to back up now. Well, I'm going to cut you off for a little while I fix these. You've seen lots of fixing. So let me fix these and I'll be back. Alright, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Then I'm going to take it off and I'm going to cut that bottom off, put it on the bandsaw, and then I'll put it back on. I'll leave the faceplate on it. Yeah, I got it cut off. Yeah, I decided I'm just going to make a vase out of this. I'll do my picture thing a little later with a fresh piece of some type of oak or walnut or something. But this lends itself to better to a vase. I'm still going to put a walnut foot on it though. And I like walnut, and I like my method of hollowing. See, what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll drill this hole as deep as I can go, and then I'll hollow it out, then I'll glue a piece of walnut on it, and I'll cut my tenon or my recess. You know, you never know till you get there. I'll cut it in it and flip it around, and then hollow from the top side. That gives me a nice clean bottom inside. That's one thing I like about it. And you know, I like the way it looks. I may make a square one down here with the 4 legs on it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. See what we got here. I don't even know what size this is, but I don't guess it matters. So we're going to whirl it up here, see what we got. That's what Harbor Freight's good for. You end up with a lot of measuring tapes. I am 4.5 inches in. All right, that's over halfway. That's good. That's good, my friend, right there. All right, I'm going to park it for the day. All right, it's a few days later. Seems like I can't stay on this project. Maybe my heart's not in it. I think I'm going to name this video One Butt Ugly Vase. But in keeping with my tradition of never giving up, which may have to break that condition one of these days, I'm going to start hollowing this from this end. Don't be surprised if it don't swarm on me. Something right there is awful bouncy. I can't see what it is here. Oh, yeah, I see what it is. I didn't even see that come out. My goodness. My goodness. Well, I think I'm going to make this a shorter vase. Actually, that may have been a blessing in disguise right there, guys. This is 2-ton epoxy. I just poured it up, so I hadn't mixed it yet. Pretty good stuff. For new viewers, this is exactly what I've used many a time when I used to build knives to put handles on. Sometimes without pins, and I've yet to have one come off. There you go. I always like to give just a little bit of a, sometimes, there you go, a little bit of a twist. And I like to lay the leather to it, not too much, because you don't want to squeeze it out. All right, that'll work. Alright, I finished sanding and sealing it. You notice the finish on this now? This is just sealer. And, you know, I put about 3 coats on, and I hit it with 320 and a little bit of steel wool, and then I've got 2 more coats on. And by gosh, it looks like it's finished, doesn't it? So what I'll do when I get done is I'll hit it with steel wool, and then I'll buff it. Another thing I want you to notice is that I went ahead and I put a dot in the center of this, because I know I'm going to have to cut that tenon off, and that dot will become invaluable. Ooh, go down, Rose. Yeah. Gave up on me, girls. Well, see it broke off right there? Boom, pow. Oh, well, I ain't giving up. All right, with my usual hard-headedness, I mean, I just hate to give up on that, you know. So here's how I'm fixing it. So I drilled 2/4-inch holes in this, and I've put dowel pins in with medium CA glue, and I've drilled matching holes in this right here, and right now I'm warming up some 30-minute epoxy, and these will fit onto here like that, and hopefully that'll get it. Give it a couple hours to set up, and we'll put it back on. We'll see what happens. Well, it's another morning. I got this back on, all glued up and everything with the dowel pins in it. It looks pretty good. It actually doesn't wobble very much. I changed my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and drill this center out, because there's a couple knots right in here that And I think that's what caused my problem, hitting them old hard knots coming around there when I was trying to, hollow this out. So, let's see. I mean, if it comes off again, I ain't too dang sure what I'm going to do. Transfer it. There it went. Daylight. Finally broke through there. All right, I already got this waste wood on a dry faceplate. I keep it on the ready. You remember? Told you to put a dot in the center of that. This is where you use it right here. So this is going to go here. That's going to go on here. If you want to bring it up with the dot in the center, and hopefully, there you go. I'm going to come out here with some nice slow drag cuts. Hopefully. I never have much luck with this part. Probably end up going over there on the sander. But it can't go anywhere. It's got that long piece inside it. I guess it could still bust it to hell. So let's just see what we got. You never know. Taking that bottom off and putting it back on. Got my dot off center, I'm sure. Yeah. So much for my hand sharpening, huh? All right. You take it off. And I'll bring it back when I get done with it now. Now I got it all done, and I went ahead and sanded this with some 320 by hand. I wasn't going to buff it, but then I said, well, why not, So, why not, right? Here you go. Okay, I got one more thing I'm going to do before I consider this done. I've never tried this before, but I'm going to take some sealer and dye it black and do the inside. We'll just see what happens. All right, I poured a little bit of sealer into this cup. And this stuff right here, you can't read it no more, but it's called So Strong. You can buy it on Amazon. I forget it. It's been so long, I forget what it's color or anything like that, but it doesn't take much. That's about it. It's already got 2 coats in there, but this is going to be the 3rd one. I just thought this might look better, no darker in here. Dries and Then I'll commence to edit this video and we'll see what we got. Looks like I wrapped this thing up finally. I maybe buff a little bit more. I want a little bit more shine to it. Maybe put some wax on it or something. But it looks great. It's now Spittoon. Long way from where it started. But it turned out nice. I learned something about dye and sealer. It works. Put a little dye and sealer, you make any color you want, and I think putting it on the raw wood would be better. I did a sample board over there, just had a blank cut off, and I did it and put some of that leftover sealer in it, wiped it off. And the effects are really nice, you know, because the sealer goes down into the soft grain, and you know, it colors it deeper, and then you wipe it off, and it lightens the hard grain, which gives a nice effect. So I think you could do that in a lot of different colors. If you're into colors. I never have been, but I might give it a try. Anyway, this is a Spittoon. I doubt I'd ever see any spit, but it might. Who knows? It does have a leak down here in the bottom. Hole all the way through, but I guess I could plug that if I really wanted to. Anyway, I think it turned out pretty good. Long haul, my friends, long haul. I just hope the rest of my turnings aren't this hard. If they are, I just may have to go find me another hobby. Take care, tell your friends, subscribe, keep them whirling. Bye.